Paul Georgie from Allendale. It's July 12th, Friday morning, and grain markets mostly lower here this morning in the corn and soybeans, wheat a little bit higher. Some of this is driven by offsetting positions, balancing positions from yesterday. The outside markets, the dollar, for instance, is retracing some of its sharp break that we seen yesterday. It's up about 30 points as we speak. Metals markets are lower, so a little bit of adjusting after yesterday's volatility. The basis and the July contract expiration is being talked about here this morning, as it could create some volatility. Still a few positions left in the July corn and soybean that traders are standing their ground, expecting to see some fireworks here, and hopefully the market goes in their direction. But basis on soybeans has dropped considerably here this week. 20 cents lower at some processors yesterday in central Illinois. Corn basis, however, is held steady here, not showing much change, still very strong, so expect the market to stay firm as we are supported by this cash trade. However, once the July goes off the board, now the traders are going to be wondering, can September come to the July level? Usually the situation is the cash market will determine prices for the market as we get closer to harvest. The cash trade and basis will narrow and drive that market closer to the future. So those are things we're watching, and we'll have to watch here for a few more days. Weather conditions, expect warmer temperatures next week across the Midwest. Most of the extreme heat will stay to the western quadrant of the Corn Belt and areas where they're very dry. So there will be some crop deterioration there. The rest of the Corn Belt, most areas are going to see some improvement and some well-needed heat degree days to mature this crop. Yesterday, the USDA set the bar for production. Corn still at 156.5 bushel an acre, and the soybeans, if we use USDA's numbers, would be a record production. Traders expect, and analysts that I've heard since the report think that the corn number could see some increase as far as the production side, the yield side of it, and the soybeans likely to see some type of a drop as we go into the August report and then into that October report where they actually do a major adjustment for acres. Wheat, on the other hand, found some supportive news yesterday. Export sales were good. Harvest is over 50% complete, and we're also seeing some and hearing some talk that domestically we're using some of this wheat that's being harvested to replace the corn because of the extreme difference between corn and wheat values. Feedlots, domestic users are replacing some corn with wheat, so that should continue to provide some support for the wheat complex. In the cattle trade, cash markets there been quiet so far this week. Bids and ask are still about 116, 117 on the low side. The feedlots are hopeful to get a 122, 123 price, but the way the cutout values have been going this week, choice down another 35 and select down 134. We're probably going to see a dollar lower here this week again. Last week we traded 119. Wouldn't be surprised to see a 118 trade here today. In the pork complex, we've talked about this for some time. I feel like the pork product has topped here a couple weeks ago. We're seeing continued slide there. Pork cutout values down 161 yesterday. Tight supplies of hogs of keeping the cash markets firm. for the moment, but we are into this dog days of summer where demand for meat is usually slowed because of travel and less cookouts because of heat. So those are factors that the livestock markets are going to be facing here for a few more weeks. We recommend stay in touch with your Allendale research and your Allendale brokers that we can help keep you informed on what's happening there in the market. So if you got any questions, never hesitate to call us, 800-262-7538. We wish everybody a very successful trading day. We'll talk to you on Monday morning.